Hey, what's up, fellas? I know I'm a little bit late with this video, and I probably should have done it Sunday morning, but you lose track of time sometimes. So let's not waste any more and get into the game of the week when it comes to entertainment. My UNLV Rebels headed up to Oxford, Ohio, in a game that took years off my life. This was the most MAC game I've ever seen that didn't involve two MAC teams. So the Rebels had to bring in Mountain West After Dark vibe just to survive. And survival is the only way you can describe this from a Rebels fan perspective. UNLV came back from not one, but two 14-point deficits in the second half. Let's start with the bad in this game. That first half, everything in it was terrible. There was no sugarcoating this whatsoever. Paul Gunther was doing a master class of showing why I don't trust him, nor will I ever. Our offense looked lazy. We just showed up at a 9 a.m. game not awake. Apparently, we left everything in Vegas until the beginning of the second half. We refused to give Jet the ball. I don't understand why we're so adamant about doing a by committee rotation when the game is so close and you know that Jet is our main weapon. He is the best weapon we have on the Rebels offense. It baffles me. Corey Dennis, I'm going to give him more credit because I do think that Dan Mullen is calling most of the plays, but if you're the offense coordinator and this is actually your play calling, why are you so afraid to use Jet? Jet has been consistent every year he's been at UNLV. He's an impact player. Just use him, please. Back to Paul Gunther. He routinely shows us he will bring pressure when it's unneeded, and we will never have contain on a quarterback that can run. Luckily for us, it's not a good thing, but DeQuan Finn did end up going out in this game due to an injury, and I hope he's okay because it's not something you want to see in this sport, but it did take away their quarterback run ability and otherwise helped our defense look more stout in the second half. Still doesn't mean that we were able to stop the run completely, though, because number 9 on Miami of Ohio absolutely ran us over. Our special teams, again, are worrying me. I cannot believe we gave up a 100-yard kick return right whenever we started getting momentum in the game again. That's unacceptable. You can't allow just wide open lanes for easy touchdowns that could have swung this game to irreparable territory. Yeah, territory. Irreparable territory. Once our offense finally woke up, we looked unstoppable. Even with a hiccup every once in a while, Miami of Ohio's defense, who is a good defense, by all means, this is not to discredit anything they do or are going to do in the future, just couldn't keep up with our athletes. That was a good thing to see because defensively, I do think that they would be an upper echelon defense in the Mountain West. So the fact we were able to put up 45 on this team, pretty impressive. Anthony Calandria, outside of that terrible, awful, disgusting pick, balled out. Anytime we needed a big third down, zipped the ball right to a receiver. Our receiving core as a whole played pretty well. Troy Amiri had some big time catches, including one to almost ice the game. And of course, Jaden Bradley, absolute stud on the game. 7 catches, a big time touchdown, but this is on par with the rest of his games he's had so far this season. Again, he's a holdover from the last regime. I'm so thankful that he decided to stay. Defensively, Amaris Brown is balling. He's looking like an NFL draft pick if he continues to do this. Now, he's going to have to clean up his willingness to be out of position on a constant basis, but at the same time, you can't take that away from him if he continues to get the very important, much-needed picks at key moments in the game. But the star of the game, the MVP, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Jet Thomas needs the ball. He needs the ball every play, if possible. Stop platooning him. He should always be on the field. Please, Mr. Mullen. Please, Corey Dennis. You have the best running back in the league. You gotta use him like it. And yeah, any Mountain West fans from other fan bases, you heard me. He is the best running back in the Mountain West. Either way, look it. We're 4-0. Some people are saying that we are the worst 4-0 team. It doesn't matter. College football, there is a rule that says you are what your record is, and we're 4-0, undefeated. It gives me hope for the future of this season and possibly a Mountain West title run. Come at me. We are the team to beat in the Mountain West. Look, this was a great game. I'm sure from a neutral's perspective, it was the funnest game to watch on the weekend. I only enjoyed it at the very end because we won, but still, nonetheless, a fun viewing for the college football fans. It actually reminded me of the greatest comeback of all time with my other team, the USC Trojans, against Penn State in 2016. As a matter of fact, let's move on to SC. USC took on the Michigan State Spartans on Saturday night at the Collie. I should probably say Sunday morning because that game went long as hell. I'm still tired from it. But before we actually get into the game, I gotta send my best wishes to Michigan State's linebacker, Wayne Matthews, and really all the Spartans that game that ended up getting hurt. It's part of the game, but it's not something you want to see, especially whenever they need an ambulance to carry a player off the field. But it is good to see that he's up and moving and is finally released from the hospital, so shout out to him. As for the actual game, I think this proves that USC's offense is elite. There is no way in hell you can deny that. This offense looks like what we were promised when we hired him from OU. Jaden Mayava finally looks like a guy that I was hoping he could have been at UNLV, but I'm happy to see he finally is at USC. So I'll never question Lincoln on any quarterback ever again. We were able to bully the Spartans all game, especially in the run game. They just couldn't keep up. Even whenever they filled the gaps and got in the backfield, Wayman or Eli Sanders just outran them. It was beautiful. It reminded me of the teams when I was a kid that we would just impose our will for all 4 quarters. Our receiving core is legit. Like I said last week, I think Tanook Hines is finally taking that step to be wide receiver 3, and that's a good thing whenever a freshman can be that productive early. Now, it's going to be important he really takes a step up in the coming games, especially if Jacoby Lane is going to be out for an extended period of time after Lincoln said that it's an undisclosed indefinite injury. Hopefully it's just them, I don't know, being cautious and he's actually okay to play because we really need him for the stretch coming up. Still, let's not take away from baller of the game, Mekhi Lemon. 8 receptions, 1 tud for 127 yards. Come on, man. Like, he is legitimately a carbon copy of what Amon-Ra was for us. Maybe not as physical as Amon-Ra was, but still, I see the same type of player. It's a luxury we have that most teams don't have, to have 2 number 1s. We're in a good spot. Our defensive line is great. I really stand by what I said earlier last week that most of these Big Ten offensive lines are going to get destroyed by our front 7, especially when it comes to pass rush. We can just get to the quarterback, make their life a living hell. It's beautiful to see. If I have to single someone out defensively that is just a baller every week, Eric Gentry did it again. 6 solo tackles, but he was always around the ball. I know some Big Ten fans got mad when Sua Cravens had his list of the top players in the Big Ten and he had Eric Gentry as a top linebacker. He continuously proves to everyone that he is one of the best linebackers in a conference that is known for putting out linebackers. There's really not much else to say. We dominated this game. They had some weird momentum because of a fumble and other things that just kind of went weird for a little bit, but I never felt or doubted that we would win this game. This is what we want. Fight on to the next one. Looking at the rest of the college football world, starting in the Mountain West, we have a new number 1 at the top of the conference. Fresno State went to Hawaii and passed the Hawaii test with flying colors. Or just passed the test. That was an ugly game. I really hated watching every minute of it. Super fucking sloppy football. I feel bad for Mike Alha though. He was struggling. Maybe he isn't fully healed yet and he shouldn't have played in this game. We can look back at it in retrospect. He looked off. 3 interceptions, especially when they needed him to play well. Ooh. Still, Matt Entz has that crew rolling. The Bulldogs look pretty legit, man. Boise State, Air Force. This was a good game for a while, and then Boise State just kind of pulled away in the 4th. The biggest surprise to me is Air Force's passing attack. They almost passed for 250 yards in a game that I thought they were just going to run back and forth on each other. Still, shout out to Boise. I don't like them, but that's a solid win. I still don't think they're very good. Let me take that back. I still don't think they're as good as last year. Of course, I can't leave off the biggest disappointment from the Mountain West this week, Colorado State losing at home to UTSA. They can't keep doing this. Even when they move to the Pac-12, it's unacceptable. They continuously lose to out-of-conference teams that they should beat. This was a winnable game. I really hope that you guys never move off of Norvell. What the fuck? Why would you go for 2 at home? You play for the tie, going to overtime. What is wrong with you guys? God damn. And the last Mountain West game we'll talk about, Cal versus San Diego State. Oh my God. Biggest surprise of the weekend. Cal didn't score a single point. San Diego State might be good after all. I still want to see more out of them because I just don't trust anything they do. Looking nationally, we got to talk about that absolute ass whooping Indiana gave Illinois. Kirk Signetti, I am 100% sorry. I was not aware of your game. I thought you guys were a fluke, but what you just did to that Illinois team, damn, you might be legit. Auburn OU. I want to be clear. I don't think there's anybody on earth that wants to be Jackson Arnold right now, no matter how much he keeps telling the crowd. With how much he got hit, man, I started feeling bad for him. 10 sacks. That's ridiculous. The offensive line was just staring at him getting hit most of the time. That's not cool. Hugh Freeze, you got to do something. Shout out to John Mateer, though. I always thought he was a baller. It's just good to see that he's doing it at the SEC level. Texas Tech, Utah. Damn, it was close until it wasn't. And apparently you don't have to be the starting quarterback for Texas Tech to put up some great numbers, because Will Hammond came in, was balling. Baron Morton, I mean, hopefully he gets better, but I think they're in good hands with Will Hammond. And of course, Nebraska, Michigan. Dylan Ravioli let me down again. He actually didn't have that bad of a game, but it did feel like he came up short in big moments, and just he holds the ball too long. Get rid of the ball. All right, well, I think that's all I got for y'all today. As always, if you like stuff like this, think about subscribing. If you want to talk about any game you saw this weekend that I might have missed, then leave a comment, and I'd appreciate it if you liked the video.